Welcome back to the LDS Player for part 2 of all Overwatch Heroes Ranked. If you have not already watched the first part, click on the on-screen link to view part 1 before this, as I will be starting from number 15 in this video. Anyway, without further ado, let's get on with it. Right at the number 15 spot is McCree. This was a tough choice between McCree and his rival Ashe, but McCree made it out on top. McCree has a very intense playstyle, landing a couple headshots for a kill, stunning another enemy with flashbang and inserting a few bullets into them with Fan the Hammer, and then rolling away with combat roll to replenish your ammo and do it again. He also has amazing Deadeye ultimate, great for disabling shields and killing unwary, damage, and support characters and reloading your ammo quickly. McCree also easily has one of the simplest kill potentials in the game. Also, fun fact is that McCree can fire 30 shots before having to reload manually. This is achieved if you fire all 6 of your ammo, do a combat roll and fire a clip again, animation cancel Deadeye and fire 6 shots yet again, and do another 6 shots in a combat roll, and finish off with another 6 shots for a total of 30. Okay, that was quite a lot. Again, like all other characters, he has downsides. He does not have as much long-range capability as Ashe or Widowmaker, nor as much short-range capability as Reaper or Mei. But other than that, McCree is a really fun character, and he reminds me of the good old times of playing Lando in Star Wars Battlefront 2, which, just so you guys know, I will be making videos for in the future. Anyhow, overall, McCree is one of the best short-range characters, but he also has decent medium-range capabilities and a great addition to many team comps. Hacking my computer to make her way into the 14th spot is Sombra. Okay, that's the stupidest thing I have ever said. Sombra is one of my favorite playstyles in the game, and her abilities are some of the best in the game as well. As she is a hacker, she can disable abilities and quicken the speed of health packs, making her vital and sneaky behind tanks with her stealth ability, disable their shields, and hacking health packs in easy to reach places so enemies cannot get healed quite as easily. She can also use her translocator ability to easily get to high places or to escape to a hidden location when near death. Better yet, place your translocator in either your spawn room or hidden near a hacked health pack, and you will have an extreme chance of survival. Penultimately, Sombra can see low health enemies through walls, which can let the player prioritize who to slay first. Last of all, in bad situations, be sure to utilize your EMP ultimate to save all shields and save your team from an otherwise inevitable death. Sadly, this hacker is not great at everything. Sombra has a very bad damage fall at just 15 meters. She can easily be seen if she gets too close, so Sombra players must be very careful. Overall, Sombra is great for countering tanks with her hack and EMP abilities and keeping yourself and allies alive by hacking health packs and using your translocator ability wisely. Blinking her way into the number 13 spot is Tracer. Tracer is amazing at flanking and getting in and out of the battle with her time manipulation abilities. With her blink abilities, she can evade ultimates, quickly get to an objective, find hidden routes, or go in for a finishing blow to an escaping adversary. To utilize this ability to its best during a gunfight, you should blink directly behind the enemy, then empty your clip into their head and do a quick melee. After that, rinse and repeat and any target will go down in no time. If you get into a tough spot while doing this, simply use your wind to go back to the safety of a few seconds ago, if you were safe, that is. Due to this combination, Tracer can be one of the best characters to run when a team has tons of tanks. She can deal a ton of damage with a lot of survivability. However, she has a lot of downsides. Tracer has the least health of any hero with equivalent health to Baby D.Va, so she will die easily if hacked or stunned. She also debatably has the worst ultimate in the game, doing less damage than a single headshot from Hanzo or Widowmaker. If you ever want to utilize her pulse bomb, stick it to a key support tank character that is behind a shield to cause the enemy team's protection to crumble. Overall, Tracer is a very fragile hero with tons of damage and flanking capability, but has tons of survivability with her time traveling abilities. Shaving her way into the number 12 spot is Orisa. Orisa is a very powerful tank with a very high medium range DPS that has no damage fall off and a shield that can be swapped out in the essence of battle. Orisa pairs very well with stationary heroes like Widowmaker, Hanzo, Bastion, or Torb, as she can protect them and the objective while doing damage at the same time. Orisa can also get environmental kills or move enemies into the sight of her and her allies to stop enemies from advancing to the objective or get them off the objective with their amazing halt ability. She can also use her Fortify ability to basically ensure survival, as it halves the damage done to her and disables any way of moving or immobilizing her with other abilities like Sleep Dart, Flashbang, and Sound Wave. This is really good when her shield is on cooldown or when she is trying to move to a different ally. I also really enjoy the combination of these abilities and her fun rapid fire weapon, and Orisa is a really great character in my opinion, and I don't think she needs any buffs other than maybe her supercharger, which probably should have 3 times as much health and last until it is destroyed with no passive destruction time. If this happened, Orisa's ult would become one of the best, if not the best, in the game. Also, she has a slow movement speed to account for her amazing Fortify ability and her mobile shield, and this gets even slower when firing her weapon. Overall, Orisa is an amazing jack-of-all-trades tank who can do damage and shield allies, but cannot do it as effectively as some other tanks. Barely missing the number 10 spot at number 11 is Zarya. Zarya has a very fun playstyle, as you can easily prevent damage from you and your other allies while gaining a damage boost for each amount of extra damage you block. She can also easily regenerate her health with her shields, and have both short and long range capability with her primary and alternate fires. With a shield on hand and high energy level, she can almost guarantee to win a fight against any other character, even Reaper, Bastion, and Roadhog. Due to her blocking, health regeneration, and interesting damage capability, Zarya seems to be one of the most balanced characters in the game, if not the most balanced. Her ultimate is also extremely powerful if comboed with other ults like Dragon Blade, Self-Destruct, or Dragon Strike. Although, she has a bit of downsides also. If your team is not staying together and is not in coordination, Zarya will be throwing out a shield, only to find that the teammate is not using it effectively. And then you wasted a precious shield that you may have needed to use later. Also, if your teammates use their ultimates incorrectly or at the wrong time, Graviton Surge may just become a wasted ability. Overall, Zarya is one of the most balanced and strong characters in the game, but she requires a good team with coordination to back her up. Right in time for the number 10 spot is Genji. Genji has a very fun playstyle, with epic double jumping and wall climbing to get to unfathomable heights. Fun to use primary and secondary fires, a way to stop any projectiles that come in your path to deflect, and my favorite, Swift Strike, which can get you basically to any point on the map, whether horizontally or vertically, and allow you to get to a health pack or slay an enemy very quickly. Genji also has a very powerful but risky ultimate. This is Dragon Blade, which can do up to 120 damage with a single swing and slay enemies very quickly, especially if combined with his other abilities. This is probably the most effective ultimate to nano boost, as it can easily kill the entire enemy team, especially if you have a Zarya bubble on Genji or even Graviton Surge activated. Unfortunately, this ninja has quite a bit of downsides also. He cannot do as much close range damage as other DPS like Reaper or Mei, or medium range damage as Ashe or McCree. He also is not as swift as Tracer, nor does he have the survivability that can ensure a team kill while using Dragon Blade. Overall, Genji is one of the most mobile and best suited characters to be a flanker, and is extremely fun to use and create awesome combos with. Sprinting in at the 9th spot is Soldier 76. Soldier 76 is one of the easiest characters to pick up if you play a lot of other shooter genre games, as he has rechargeable rockets, a way to heal himself and allies, and an SMG, 3 very common weapons in other shooters. If you are watching this and you have not played Overwatch, he's a great character to start out with. He is easily one of the most mobile characters, matching Genji and Tracer in his skills. He can suppress any enemy with his quick firing weapon, even being able to shred foes like Pharah and Reaper in seconds if used correctly. He can also almost instantly kill any enemies with Helix rockets and finish them off with a few more shots. Soldier 76 can even make a pseudo healer, so he can heal almost as well as a dedicated support character for a short amount of time with his biotic field. But best of all his normal abilities, he can use sprint to get in and out of the battle or run around enemies to increase your survivability. Last of all, you can use tactical visor to slay all sorts of enemies extremely quickly, which is great in prioritizing harder targets to hit when you need to ensure a kill. This is great when trying to destroy Junkrat's Riptire and other things like Orisa's Supercharger. Although, his amazing and fun playstyle comes with some downsides. He cannot do as much damage as other DPS like McCree or Widowmaker, but worst of all, he cannot sprint and attack at the exact same time, so you have to sacrifice speed for damage or vice versa. Overall, Soldier 76 is adaptable in any situation, allowing him to stay back with his team and heal, fire rockets at medium range, or easily slay any enemy at short range. Transcending into the lucky number 7 spot is Zenyatta. Zen can actually deal tons of damage if he actively combines the power of both his alternate and primary fires with his Orb of Discord, which heavily lowers the defense of the enemies. Also, one of the best things about his Orb of Discord is that it reveals the enemy's location, allowing him to charge up a secondary fire and one-shot enemies to the head. And of course, because he is a support character, he can effectively heal also. If you utilize him correctly, you can heal all your allies back to full health in seconds if you swap between them constantly with his Orb of Harmony. Zenyatta was my main for the first few days of playing, and he has a place in my heart as I got my first play of the game with him. But as always, there are some downsides. Zenyatta is very slow, making him easy targets for characters like Doomfist and Tracer. He also has a bit harder of healing than other characters, making him throw around his healing orbs like crazy. To make use of his orbs the most, always heal those who have the lowest chance of survival first, not those who need the most health. For example, if a Doomfist has 75 health, needs to be healed, or if a Roadhog has 300 health, heal the Doomfist first, as he has a much higher chance of death than Roadhog, even though Roadhog needs more health at the moment. Overall, Zenyatta has amazing damage for a support character and the abilities of tracking down and one-shotting enemies while backing up and supporting his team with his Orb Discord and his Orb of Harmony. Edging his way over his younger brother at the number 6 ranking is Hanzo. At least in my opinion, Hanzo is a much better sniper than Widowmaker, as I sucked with scoped weapons. I love bows and arrows in real life, and I really like archery, so Hanzo is a really cool hero to me. He can kill enemies really quick with his Storm Arrows, most notably Bastion and most tanks. Storm Arrows is a much better way of doing damage at medium to close range than, say, Widowmaker or Ashe's primary fire, and he has even more capability than that. He can also track down enemies more often than Widowmaker with a Sonic Arrow compared to her Infrasight, and if you get used to the arc of his bow, he can easily do more damage than Widowmaker, and being much less noisy with a silenced bow. Last of all, Hanzo can get to high points and dodge other snipers with his wall climb and lunge abilities, allowing him to snipe even more effectively. Although Hanzo still has some downsides. Hanzo's wall climb sucks compared to the grappling hook and even the coach gun. His ultimate is usually very weak unless it's combo with Graviton Surge or Gravitic Flux. Last of all, he does not have a 2.5 times damage multiplier like Widowmaker. Overall, at least in my opinion, Hanzo is just an upgrade of a sniper in nearly every way except the grappling hook to Widowmaker, and his silenced weapon, more adaptable gameplay, and the lack of a scope just makes him so much more fun to me. Fading into the number 6 spot is Moira. Moira is one of the most fun characters out of all shooter games, as she is like a hybrid of Reaper with longer range capability and a similar abilities to one of my favorite characters in the history of shooter games, Emperor Palpatine from Star Wars Battlefront 2. She has a medium range alternate that can heal her health back, and she can use awesome ricochet orbs to heal her damage, and even pass through the toughest of barriers. She can also heal very effectively with her primary fire, and she can get to critical allies or heal herself up with a fade ability for getting in and out of the battlefield. She can also use her coalescence ability to heal or damage any friend or foe in a large area, great in large team fights. Although, Moira, like all other heroes, has some downsides. She cannot heal infinitely, as she needs biotic energy gained from enemies to heal with her primary fire, so you must be very careful when utilizing your healing. Also, do not make the mistake of never using your healing orbs like I do, as they are essential to healing your team. Overall, Moira is a very capable healer and is very fun to use with all of her interesting play style combos, but she's not as great as the healer as, say, Lucio, Baptiste, or Mercy. Exploding his way right into the number 5 spot is Junkrat. Junkrat is an extremely fun playstyle, and jumping around the map and endlessly ambushing enemies. His mines let him fly in the air like fair, but he's much less predictable. I also really enjoy ricochet and exploding weapons, so I really enjoy his frag launcher. He also has more damage potential than fair with his mines, trap, and a stronger average primary weapon DPS. And at least for me, I can hit much better with a quick grenade launcher than a slow traveling rocket launcher. He also has more mobility and survivability with his abilities and his passive Total Mayhem ability. He is also amazing at breaking shields and killing tanks really quick with his mines. Concludingly, he also has an amazing ultimate that can normally one-shot any hero, especially if used with Graviton Surge. However, he has a few downsides as well. He cannot easily hit enemies like Pharah, Tracer, and Doomfist due to their high mobility, so he is not as useful if you do not have a great aim with grenade launchers. I mean, now that I'm decent at Junkrat, I can use the grenade launchers even if I ever play Fortnite, which I usually never do. Overwatch is way better. Last of all, and I know this doesn't matter, but Junkrat looks absolutely disgusting. Sorry, Christopher, but you chose the wrong character to voice. I honestly cannot look at him unless he is in the Scarecrow skin, which I always wear. Anyway, that's just off topic. Overall, Junkrat has high mobility and damage capability, perfectly blending into a perfectly fun playstyle. Manipulating his way into the 4th spot is Sigma. I only played Sigma for a single match, which is the match being shown in the clip, and I instantly fell in love with his playstyle. First of all, he is one of my favorite weapon ideas of all time. I have always loved 2 or 3 projectile burst weapons, explosive ammunition, a way to slow down enemies, and weapons that ricochet, which all of those things are what Sigma has, perfectly combining into an awesome weapon, and it has infinite ammo as a bonus, making it my favorite weapon of all time. He also has a very capable shield that can block a whopping 1,500 damage, and he can be attacking at the same time as using it. And he can easily heal back his health with his 100 shields and his kinetic grasp ability that can convert 40% of all damage taken into personal shields. He can also use his accretion ability to combine his awesome weapons and shields to easily slay enemies along with his team. Sigma is very flexible in any game mode with a shield, so he can always be useful. Concludingly, he can use his gravitic flux to do insane damage and incapacitate his foes. However, Sigma has downsides like all characters. He is weaker with his DPS than Orisa, and though shield's much better, her other abilities can be more useful in a lot of situations. He is also not as adaptable as Zarya, but he is more reliable in his damage. Overall, Sigma is an unbearably pleasurable tank to use with his awesome gravity-defying abilities, but he's not as specialized in damage or defensive abilities as other tanks. Using his Exo Boots to launch into the 3rd spot is Baptiste. Baptiste is so fun to use as I love his extremely high jump to get to objectives like crazy, and his burst weapon is just so awesome. He's like the support version of Soldier 76, and I really enjoy playing support, and Baptiste honestly has a really good damage for a support character. I also love how he can fire healing grenades while firing his gun at the same time, so he can heal and damage enemies from any range at the same time. He can also save any teammates from inevitable death of the immortality field, which allows to completely avoid ultimates. Baptiste can also heal very quickly in combination with his healing grenades with the regenerative burst ability, which is extremely effective for topping off allies' health. If you combine these together, you can heal your entire team by 90 health per second for 5 seconds, enough to heal almost every target in the game back to full health in just 2 seconds. Last of all, his amplification matrix allows you to basically wreck anything in your path, doubling both damage and healing. Nonetheless, Baptiste has some downsides. He cannot heal as easily as other supports, so you must combine his Exo Boots and his abilities to heal as much as possible. Also, he cannot heal himself with his grenades, making him have to use his regenerative burst. At times you could have saved it for your team for your own good. Overall, Baptiste is easily one of the best characters with his insane abilities, but he uses more skill than other support characters, which is another reason I like him so much. We have Ana, just making it out of the number 1 spot. Ana is an extremely fun sniper, and at least for me, nothing is more satisfying in Overwatch than when you shoot someone and their health drains away into nothing. She has some really fun abilities, combining her really fun sniping weapon that has a much better scope than Widowmaker in my opinion, her really useful bomb that can change the whole play of a head-on assault, and her tactical sleep dart that can easily immobilize any annoying character to turn the tide of battle. She is also very powerful at any range, and she can hold her own in a one-on-one duel. This is the best if you put the enemy to sleep, wait until they get back up, and then throw the biotic bomb and fire a few shots, and even a tank can go down in mere seconds. Ana's a really fun character to use with a blend of projectile and hit scan shots, and she's easily my favorite sniper in video game history, rivaling only the Specialist in Battlefront 2 and the Ice Cactus in Garden Warfare 2, as she can also support the team, which I love doing in Overwatch. However, she requires good aim to heal and has no way to easily get to high elevation, so she's not the best for everyone. Overall, Ana is a very effective sniper for a healer, and she can become one of the most enjoyable characters in the game if used correctly. Before I reveal my favorite character, be sure to like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell to allow for more Overwatch videos to support my channel and allow me to make even more awesome content. Anyway, to the final character. Without any regrets, I denote Doomfist as my overall favorite character to play as in history of all shooter games. Many people overlook Doomfist due to his high skill level. but that is why I adore his playstyle. When I first started playing Overwatch, I constantly played as every hero except for Doomfist, but I only played once. But when I finally revisited him when I was testing out Total Mayhem, he became my favorite character right away. If any of you guys watching this video are Doomfist main, be sure to comment that below because I will absolutely reply with a favorite. Anyhow, Doomfist can easily one-shot any enemy with a combo of his abilities, his hand cannon, and his melee attacks. This is made even crazier due to his the best defense passive ability, which allows himself to buff himself to a total of 400 health when doing damage with his abilities to ensure survivability. In most cases, this ability is better than Reaper's the Reaping innate ability if you are good enough. If you do not like Doomfist or you simply are not great as him, let me give you some tips that really helped out that will most likely have you all over Doomfist. Number 1. Be sure to start with a Seismic Slam before Rising Uppercut. It will heavily affect your playstyle. Rising Uppercut should be used like Wrecking Ball's pile driver to get them in the air and finish them off with 2 or 3 shots from his hand cannon. Number 2. Also, do not use Rocket Punch along with these abilities as much as you can, because you might need to conserve Rocket Punch for an important one-shot kill or an escape route. Number 3. Use your hand cannon as a finishing blow attack, not a primary weapon as the name implies. Number 4. Do not restrain from adding quick melees to your combos. It will help you save ammo and do more overall damage. Number 5. Last of all, ensure that you use Meteor Strike as more of an escape route than a damage dealer. It is really not powerful enough to use it for damage unless absolutely necessary. Now for a few cons. First off, he is really hard to use if you do not follow the aforementioned tips. Second of all, Doomfist has a weaker primary weapon than even support characters if not used correctly. But worst of all, this is more just a graphical thing, is that he has an insanely large Doomfist on his dang hand, and he decides to punch with the hand cannon instead of his big fist. For up to me, I would also double or even triple the damage of his melee damage to furtherly emphasize his melee attacks. Overall, Doomfist is one of the most damaging characters in the game, but he requires tons of risk and skill to fully utilize his power. If used right, he can easily outdamage Reaper in any circumstance. Thank you all for watching this video. Be sure to like and subscribe for more Overwatch and other gaming and music videos. Be sure to write in the comments your ranking and any suggestions for later videos as well. Last of all, I would recommend all the watchers to comment on what they think the highest competitive rank that I've ever been in down in the comment section below, and I will reveal it next Tuesday. Well guys, I'm out.